we need to become more conscious of our mind. What is going on there? So that when negative emotions arise, greed, anger, pride, jealousy, we know it. Actually, the quickest way to deal with our negative emotions, which cause us so much pain, they cause so much pain to ourselves and they cause so much pain to others. The quickest way, apart from applying antidotes, the quickest way is just to know it. Right now I'm feeling angry. Anger has arisen. And then to decide what to do. Either we can feed it, we can apply an antidote such as patience, or we can just let it go. It's important not to make a whole big scenario out of our negative emotions. To, if we get upset, to then blame ourselves for being upset. And therefore just turn the anger outside back inside again. That doesn't help anything, and it doesn't simplify the situation. It just creates another spiral. So what we need is to become aware, and aware of our intentions. It's so simple, really. Our thoughts very much influence, they totally influence our speech and our actions. So therefore, we need to catch things right at the beginning. Before we speak, before we act, what is the genuine intention? And if the intention, if we are honest, if the intention is mixed with anger, irritation, or with greed, or desires, negative desires, or with envy, or any of these other ego inflation, etc., we can catch it and say, no, that's negative intention. Negative intentions lead to negative speech and negative actions. It's very simple. The problem is normally that we are just carried away by the stream of our thinking, and we act and speak before we're even conscious of why we're doing it. So therefore, this ability to stand back and see what is actually going on before we precipitate ourselves into verbal and physical actions. And therefore, to try to keep our intention kind. It would be a very different world, as we know, if only people were more kind. Kindness means the desire for the happiness of others. Every being that we meet wants to be happy, doesn't want to be unhappy. It even doesn't matter how difficult they are, how indifferent they are, how rude they are, anything. In their heart of hearts, they would like to feel okay, and they don't want to feel sad. And if we recall that just as we want happiness and not suffering, so all beings want happiness and not suffering, then we can extend that to them, the wish for their well-being. And then we go through life, anyone that we meet, the first impulse, unspoken but felt, is, may you be happy. It's not difficult. Of course, this does not mean that when we're in very abusive situations, we should just, lie down and say, kick me harder. It doesn't mean that. If one is in a very abusive situation, or if people are cheating you, or, of course one can be strong and stand up against that and deal with that. The energy behind it is not anger, but compassion. We have to recognize we're in this world in order to learn. We are in this world in order to grow up and become mature human beings. Learning how to cultivate qualities like generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiasm, the quality to be present in the moment and really understand what the mind is thinking, and to uproot and transform the negative, and to cultivate and encourage the positive, to really do everything for the sake of other beings, that all beings are on this journey with us. This is really very essential, because everything is lived through the mind. And whether we are in strict retreat or whether we are in the center of our family or at our workplace, we take our mind with us. And how we cultivate the mind is the essential point. No one can do it for us. So moment to moment to moment, we practice. We practice really knowing what is in the mind and transforming the negative into the positive, and opening our heart to embrace all beings in kindness and compassion, loving kindness, and using all events to transform our minds and our lives into something worthwhile, so that at the time of death, and we're all going to die, we can look back and think, well, I used this life meaningfully.